Hello, everybody. Welcome to Manifestation Kitchen podcast. I can't believe I'm actually doing one of these. And I thought, what way to actually kick off by actually having someone interview me so that you can learn a bit more about Manifestation Kitchen. So I have chosen the amazing Jen Dalton. So Jen is someone who literally works from the heart. She runs podcasts. She works with food. She loves food. You need to find her on Instagram and stuff, like everything she produces. She's just so literally involved in it from every essence of her body. And I couldn't think of anybody that I'd rather have on here than Jen, because I know that she's going to literally connect her intuition and ask all the relevant questions that will help you to know about manifestation a bit more. So Jen, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here, and your words just like hit my heart. Thank you so much. And I'm so excited to be here with you.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Beautiful.
So, what have you got for me?
So I want to ask you firstly, how did this all come to you? Like how are you using this to fulfill yourself with Manifestation Kitchen? What does it mean to you?
Oh, goodness. Oh, so Manifestation Kitchen, I reckon it has been in the pipeline for a while, for a long time. It's been in the pipeline since I knew that I had a purpose, that I knew. I love that. This is why I love live work. I love it. Perfect. Perfect. I love it. Perfect. And I'm so cool with that. It's like the recording where the guy on the BBC is talking and his baby walks through on live TV and he goes crazy. So yes, I love all that. But no, for me, Manifestation Kitchen, I think it's been in the works for a long time. I just didn't know how to bring it out. And now that she's here, I say she because she's all feminine in every, you know, every ore of her essence. um she's just she's exactly where she needs to be, and she's reaching the people that she needs to reach. When I first realized that I had a gift, that I had a calling, I was so confused. And I know that there's a lot of people out there who are in similar situations where they're thinking, oh, should I be running a podcast, or should I be healing, or should I be working for a charity, or and you find yourself doing this dance where you literally just going around in circles. And I had a food business. I was healing through food, and you and I spoke when that was still in its element, but something was missing, and the whole healing part really didn't fit into what I was doing. And this has just created a more spiritual, more aligned way of thinking, where I can use food, I can use touch, and I could use words to just play around and heal people. And it's almost like a playground for healers, and a playground for people who want to be healed, to just come in and have fun and not take manifestation too seriously.
Mm-hmm. And I love your logo. Oh my gosh. Can you tell me about it? I want to know everything. The flame with the fork and the spoon. It's beautiful.
Right. Isn't she so cute?
I
So
love it.
I'm gonna do that. So when I actually created this, I worked with the amazing Scott Martin. He is just amazing. Yeah.
Oh.
So Scott's been a great, oh my God, um source of energy, guide, everything. And it's so funny because I always knew I wanted to work with someone who works with their genius. I work with my genius, and not many people get that. Not many people get that way of thinking. And it's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just when you know. And I'd been manifesting this for a while, and I was just lucky enough that someone put us together. And oh my goodness, the whole side, the whole element of it was just, it was seamless. It was absolutely seamless. So the whole logo is literally is all about me. It the fork and the knife is all about food. The lotus flower was around healing. And then and it was so interesting as the brand was growing. I would look at it, and Scott would look at it, and we go, we need something else in there, something else. And then because I'm a shaman, I I I see myself using fire quite a lot. And when people see me, people initially go, oh my God, you know, you're pure energy. And I am. I can feel it. And the more I embody my purpose, the more I feel that energy coming in. And I couldn't think of anything better than a flame.
Beautiful.
And it's interesting because when I was doing my sketches on Canva, it doesn't look too dissimilar to the end product. It's quite interesting. And then underneath, there was something else again that I thought was missing. And when we added the final bit, it was the hands underneath the logo. So can you see the hands? So you've got the hands holding
Gorgeous.
the
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And that for me,
wow.
was that for me was it. Like I knew my logo was my logo probably, I reckon maybe about 3 weeks before it was completed. Like I had a choice of logos, and I knew that was it. I knew it, I felt it, I leaned into her. And it was so important because everybody who's seen the logo knows it's me. It's so interesting. Everybody who's seen the logo, there's part of, I have different backdrops, and there's one backdrop where I think the logo is at the top because normally the actual flame is at the top, and it looks like a crown. And a lot of people call me Queen or Queen of Manifestation. And when they see that, they're like, "Oh my God, it's the Queen! The Queen's here!" And I'm like, "Yeah." Now it feels like I've got wings, but yeah. Actually, Diana Lammert put these together.
Really?
Yeah. So I gave her the logo, the finished logo, and I said I need a backdrop for my Zoom. So she did. So I got her to do this. So for people who are looking for stuff,
she's amazing.
She's amazing.
I even love the lettering.
Yes. So again, even the fonts and everything else, well thought of. So if you go through and have a look, the consistency is just astounding. But it was just so important to, I didn't do any of this with Vic's Kitchen. I didn't. I literally spent £5 on my logo with Fiverr. It was done in about 2-3 hours, and I didn't have to think about it. As long as it had VK on it, I was happy, and it had a couple of chili peppers on it. It was great. This one, I really used my intuition to lean into everything. There's nothing about my logo, my brand, that I don't know about, that I haven't leaned into, that I haven't thought of the clientele that are coming in. So my ideal clients, the people that would be looking at this, the people that would be coming in to purchase the products and also just learn from the whole initiative. I've thought of everything. So that's what we've got at the back there.
It's gorgeous, and it shows.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask you, I have a question about, because I've been thinking a lot about this as well. It's like, I don't think that people actually realize how healing food is.
Right.
And how we could use this.
Right.
To better our lives. Can you tell us a little bit more about your experience with this? I know we spoke on this last time we spoke with water and different things, different types of food. But what about food? And I was thinking last night, like, we all eat. We're always all going to eat.
Right. And I think that's something that we need to remember, is that we all have to eat. And food is a medicine. Food is a medicine. As someone who naturally heals through food, you see what it does to transform your body, your gut, your state of mind. And especially with manifestation, and I mentioned this on a podcast that I did, I think on Friday, there's food that can help you actually manifest more. There's food that can actually help you connect more to your intuition. There's foods that can help you feel grounded. You know, I did a video this morning on Manifestation Mondays, which I've just created. And I was telling people, let's ground you for the beginning of the week. And I actually didn't mention, but one of the key foods that I get people to eat when I'm trying to ground them are sweet potatoes, because they're so grounding. And I promise you, if you doubt what I'm saying, the best thing to do is actually to notice how you feel beforehand, then eat the sweet potatoes and notice how you feel afterwards. There's a complete change in your state, completely. It really shows. And actually, if you have purple sweet potatoes, even better, because then they connect you to your intuition even more.
Those are my favorite.
Yes, they connect you to intuition even more. There's a lot of purple foods that help connect you to your intuition, but you have to be careful about which ones you're not overdoing them. You're not getting too acidic. You're not getting too acidic in what you're trying to eat, and trying to see if you can maintain a bit of alkalinity. But yes, not manifestation, but intuition overall and food go very hand in hand, because we need to remember that food is planted by humans. And when someone's working on the earth, as opposed to working above a tree, when someone's working on the earth, they're really connecting to Mother Earth. You can feel it. If you close your eyes and just imagine someone sort of like tolling through the earth. And as I close my eyes, I see my grandmother, because my grandmother was a farmer, and she would literally connect to the ground. And my grandma died at the age of over 100, and she still looked about 70 when she died. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much that comes from that earth. Now, when somebody is connected to their higher self and they produce food, the energy flows into that food. So that's what you get. And no matter where the food is exported from, it's very difficult for all the energy of the food to disappear. Right? Because energy is so much stronger than anything else. So food that has been nurtured from a place of grounding, to when you eat it and stuff, it really does reflect in your being completely.
I 100% agree with you, and I felt your words. And I'm actually fasting today. Okay. But tomorrow I'm starting the 9-day medical medium cleanse.
Okay.
And, it's been life-changing for me. I also just wanted to say, like, the first line when I started, oh my gosh, yes.
I've got them all here.
Beautiful.
I've got this one.
Beautiful. Oh, I haven't seen that one.
No, this one's from we have somewhere in London called Neil's Yard, and they do they have an amazing vegan shop there, and they produce all these healing foods. So I look at them and I go through them sometimes and have a look and see. I have clients with different sorts of issues. A lot of the time when I work with clients, it comes intuitively, but as a human, I tend to go, I just need to check. And I'll pop in here and have a look, and I'm always spot on, but it's always nice to see what additional information has been put in there, because I don't work based on research. I just work based on
Absolutely.
So it comes to me. So for those people that have done research, I always like to give them credit and also review their work as well.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to say, because it's a sentence that really resonated with me, is that it's a spiritual cleanse, like, more than anything.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to add, you know, during quarantine, I cooked for the brothers,
I
and
remember.
I found so much inspiration, but I was gifted about 4 books, you know, natural healing. And it was all around food and
Yes.
healing. And I felt like, you know, being around these gentlemen and then just like knowing that they were kind of guiding me in a way. Do you
Mm.
have experiences like that where you know that it's something bigger than us?
Oh
Like
yeah,
it's,
completely.
yeah.
Completely. I mean, it's really funny. If people go to my Instagram page, we have some amazing content coming out. Oh my God. And it's everything to do with food. Everything to do with food. And I have one that's coming, but it's about breaking bread. You can't break bread with people in a bad mood. You just can't,
Mm-hmm.
right? Community, bringing people together is what food is all about. Even if you're eating on your own, there is a communion of people that created the food, brought the food to your plate and everything else. Does that make sense? And it's a bigger calling. It's a huge calling, which is why when we cook food, and it's something that I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to be showing people how to cook consciously,
Mm-hmm.
how to cook from a place of heart,
Mm-hmm.
because there's nothing worse than being in a bad mood and cooking, because
It's my
then,
meditation, girl. That's like when
right,
I check out, I don't think about anything.
exactly. But there are people who either don't like to cook, so they will cook in a low vibration, and then when they dish out, you notice that it carries out throughout the family, especially if you've got a big family. You need someone who loves to cook, right? You need someone who loves to cook so that it carries on. So, and it's a bigger calling, because even the conversations that we have at the table, have you noticed that some of the conversations that you have at the table just aren't had anywhere else? These are
100%.
these are conversations that I had, and I'm sure inspired by the divine, where you literally, you either agree, disagree, but everything's so passionate, and everything's so, there's an intention behind the words, and you know, even when you're drinking wine and everything's flowing and you're just having an amazing time, it's such a beautiful experience. And then just imagine being at that high vibration and manifesting what you would love.
I've been, you know, I wanted to be mindful and take the time to ask the questions I did, but part of me is like, oh my gosh, I want to dive into manifestation. Like I need to know more about this, you know. So can you tell me how this incorporates with your mission and your purpose?
Or the manifestation, or everything?
Yes.
Oh
I want to
God,
hear everything
you
about
want
the
to hear everything.
manifestation.
You know what? With my purpose, I honestly thought my purpose was to manage projects in the corporate world. I love that so much. You can wake me up at whatever time and I will do that, whatever and stuff. You know, I currently have a client. I'm working on a £500 million initiative. I love it. I love it. I'm one of the weird ones that actually doesn't hate their job. However, I am, but I also have, but then there's this purpose of mine that pretty much I received the message from the divine saying, I will literally take you back to where you were 4 years ago if you do not do what I ask you to do. So this is me following instructions. So there's that whole thing where they say, listen to the whisper, listen to what you're being told, be quiet. Meditation for me is all about that. It's about actually not just about calming yourself down, but calming yourself down so that you're able to listen to what you're being told when you normally can't hear because the world is so loud. And as part of that, what I did realize was that actually from about the age of about maybe 10, I have been working endlessly to give people a fulfilled life. That I realized, but I only realized a few months ago that that's what I've been doing, that I've been helping people get a fulfilled life. And however, when I was trying to think of something to put out there and how to package this, I actually sat down and I prayed and I said, I said to God, I need guidance to know what word to use that's going to be palatable, because I didn't want to use the word healer and I didn't want to use the word cook. And even though those are huge essences of mine, something just didn't work. Something just didn't work. And the most bizarre thing happened when I asked the question. People started to ring me. And the questions were, Vic, how do you manifest so much? What do you do? What's your routine? What's your structure? And I was like, oh my God, that's what it is. I manifest. So that's where manifestation came from. And what this allows me to do is to show people the possibilities that anything is possible. Anything is possible. But you need to be able to manifest from a place of complete belief and surrender. And I go back to the women, I go back to my sisters. I say, my darling sisters, we have been put on this earth to nurture. So we will look after everyone. We will look after everyone before we look after ourselves. We will make sure that everyone is okay. We will make sure that everybody is happy in their place. And then we go, okay, and then there's us. And by the time we come to us, sometimes we don't even believe we deserve it. So when we're manifesting and you're manifesting something that you don't believe you deserve, how on earth are you expecting it to come into your life?
I just want to note that you said belief is so important, but the surrender alongside of it.
Yes, belief. Because
that's beautiful.
Yeah, because when you believe, it means that with absolute certainty that it's going to come into your life, that it's already here. Surrendering is not worrying about the how, because it's no goddamn business of yours. The how is no business of yours. It isn't. Because when I look at it isn't. It isn't.
It's amazing.
It isn't any business of ours, because we're always focusing on the how. And people come to me and say, so you're a healer? Yes. So how do you heal? I don't know. If I knew that, I'd be a millionaire. I don't know. I heal. I will place my hands on you and I will heal. Or I will look at you and I will heal. Or I'll talk to you and I will heal. There's testimonials to refer it to, but there isn't a process, because the how is none of my business. I am a channel. I didn't go to school to learn how to be a healer, or an oracle, should I say, which is what I am. I'm not, I didn't sit as a little girl and think, oh my goodness, one day when I'm an oracle, this is what I'm going to do. No, I had no intention. This is something that has been bestowed upon me, and I have been told this is what you have to do. So as a result, when I help people to manifest, I take them away from the how, and I get them to focus that it is possible for it to happen. It is possible. So I did an exercise today with on Facebook, where I said to people, close your eyes and manifest one thing. And when you close your eyes, visualize it. And when you visualize it, what emotions come up? Can you smell it? Can you see it? Can you feel it? And breathe. And the more you go through that exercise, it becomes more and more real. Right? It becomes more and more. I think Master Co does one with an apple, and he tells you to close your eyes, and he tells you to hold, to imagine that you're holding an apple, and then same thing. You visualize, you connect, and you believe that it's there. When you believe it's there, it's your responsibility, one, to keep it there and to bring it into your life, because it will. And I'm proof that all of this happens. I am absolute proof. When I first met you, there were things that went in my life that I was telling you that I wanted, and they happened whilst I've known you, and I've told you about some of them and what have you. So it's possible to actually bring them in, but you have to come from complete surrender, because once you try to control what you're trying to manifest, then it's almost like having balls in the air, and then you lose your concentration for 1 second and the balls fall down.
Beautiful analogy.
Right? And then you go, oh my God, this always happens to me. Just whenever I'm so close, and this happens, whenever I'm so close, the contract gets terminated, or the client's no longer interested, or and And we blame everything but our ability to connect to our higher self. And I teach people how to connect to their higher self, how to use their genius, their purpose, their amazing selves to actually keep things more on an upgoing momentum where they can manifest at a more frequent level. That doesn't mean that you don't have down days. It doesn't mean that you don't have days where you go, oh my God, you know what? I just need to stay in bed. However, the length of staying in bed may go from a day to half a day because because your energy and your momentum is so high. And what you realize, so for example, a lot of people didn't know this, but the day before I was launching, or was it the actual day I was launching? Oh my goodness, everything was happening. It was quite interesting to watch. I remember going to the gym and it was raining. Then I got to the gym and I just wasn't feeling it. And I was on a spin bike and I literally must have been working at 30%. I just was not feeling it at all. And then I think I had to go into a meeting that I really didn't want to go to. And then there was just so much happening. And I remember at one point just going, okay, refocus. What's the end result? The end result is to launch Manifestation Kitchen today. The end result is to end the day on a high vibration. The end result is to make sure that you have a final podcast with Mark, get that done, smash it out and connect with people. And once I went back to that, I don't know what else happened because I wasn't even focusing on what else was going on. And if you notice, I didn't say things were going wrong. I said things were happening. Because once you believe that things are going wrong, then things will start to go wrong, because the word wrong has a high energy with it that will bring you down, because there's more, when I say high energy, like a powerful energy that will help bring down your vibration. So when you say wrong, or straight away you don't feel great. Okay, so I say things were happening, which means that with my language and with my belief and with my surrender, I managed to turn things around. Now, I know people that would happen to, and I promise you they would not launch on that day. They would cancel, they would cancel the podcast, or something would happen for the podcast to get cancelled, and then they would have sabotaged the whole day. I see it happen every single day, and it breaks my heart, because I know how hard we all work. I know how hard we want to help the world, how much we want to get our stuff out there. And all I'm here to do is to make that possible by making sure that your suffering is less.
So gorgeous. And I just was thinking about like the times when I've manifested things and it just came so effortless.
Yeah.
And it was, and in part, it was that surrender.
Yeah, completely.
And I think I'm more conscious now than ever of like letting those, being in control of those thoughts, and just knowing that we always have the power to change our thoughts, and you know that will change our lives. And
yeah,
I just want to ask you how you incorporate food into manifestation, and how does that help manifest?
So food, again, food is all about high vibrational food. So say, for example, so you're talking to someone who has a very friendly relationship with sugar sometimes. Like she can have, and I have to work really hard to stay away from sugar. I'm human. Now, I've trained myself, and again, I do have an amazing gift to stay offshore when it comes to manifestation. However, imagine if you eat sugar all the time and then you feel really lethargic, but then you want to manifest a business, for example, and you're lethargic, but you're still passionate about what you're trying to do, and then you're trying to manifest, you're not firing from all cylinders. So what tends to happen is you may manifest something, but it may not be everything that you wanted. So it may be bits of what you're trying to achieve. Does that make sense? So
100%. Yeah.
this whole spiritual cleanse that you're talking about doing is where it's almost like you're stoking the fire, you're stoking the coal inside your body so that the fire can rise, the fire behind, that the fire can rise so that your vibration increases.
Absolutely.
So having live food, having food that hasn't been tampered with, having food that has, and when I say tampered with, obviously food has had to be harvested and put into plastic and everything else. Ideally, we wouldn't have that, but that's the case in most cases. But food that has very little, had very little tampering with, still holds its essence, which means that when it goes into your body, it heals your body.
Absolutely.
And it allows you that when you, whatever you're doing, whether it's manifesting, whether it's just living, whether it's spending time with your family, you're doing it from a more energetic phase. I mean, one of the things that I tend to do when I'm sort of like being really good is to make sure that I have things like cucumbers, and I do like cucumber juices, and I do apple juices, and I do ginger juice. Ginger's really good for grounding as well, right? So I love ginger.
I love ginger so much.
Yeah, exactly. I also do fennel juices and celery juices, and I mix them up. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Look at this! This is where all my money goes. Look.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where my money goes. But yeah, so I make all these juices, and I'm blessed with good skin. But I honestly believe that because I invested in a really good juicer, I think we're talking about juices as well and stuff at one point. But
absolutely,
yeah. But because I've got a really good juicer, I benefit from actually having those. And to be honest with you, it calms me down because I have a really strict ritual in the morning. I go through a really strict ritual. Now, people are like, oh my God, it must be an hour. No. It's about 5 to 10 minutes, but it's strict. I wake up in the morning and I say, thank you. I literally say, thank you. I actually don't draw my curtains because I've manifested an apartment where all the windows are facing trees. So it looks as if I live in a tree house.
Beautiful.
And
oh my gosh.
And it's stunning. And a lot of my videos are recorded with my back to them, to the trees. But I wake up in the morning, I look at the trees and I say, thank you. Even before I lived here, I used to say thank you. Then I start to go through major gratitude. And I actually said to one of my clients the other day, I'm grateful that I have a toilet in my home. And he started laughing. And I was like, dude, I know places in Africa where people don't have toilets in their home. Like literally, if you want to go for a wee at night, you have to go down somewhere where there's no light and what have you. And it may not seem important in this world, but it's important in a world. And I know what it's like being in that world. So I acknowledge it and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for my body. I'm grateful that whatever size I've been, and I've gone up and down and middle, my body has taken me around the world and allowed me to still absorb energy to be able to help people.
So beautiful.
Right. So I'm grateful for all these things, and it's so important. So that's part of my of my routine in the morning. And then I do my prayers, and then I pray for other people. It's always important to pray for other people. But I was having a conversation yesterday.
It feels better too.
It feels better, but we need to start praying or asking for what we want with more intention. We need to start asking for what we want with more intention. And why I say that is because there are certain words or prayers or affirmations that we have learned and we've almost become robotic when we say them. Now, I'm a Christian, so I'm going to go with the Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer, I find that when we say the Lord's Prayer, it's a very robotic thing. You say, our Father, da, 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 da. And I've started actually going line by line to try and understand the words, trying to understand the essence, because as I do that, so do I manifest into my life what I want to bring into my life. It's all about connecting, because we always want something. As human beings, we always want stuff. We're never satisfied. We're always wanting stuff. Even if it's the littlest thing, we want something. And
we want to be better.
We want to be better. But also it's not just about us, right? So what we manifest and our purpose, it's not just about us, it's about other people. And as long as you're manifesting from a place of selfishness, it's not going to come.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be manifesting something that will benefit somebody else.
Beautiful. I love that distinction.
Yeah.
And I spoke about this in an interview surrounding faith. And I was talking about how when I was younger, I used to ask God, like, please just give me this one last thing. I won't ask you for anything ever again. And now it's like, it's like I have my conversation with him is so different.
Yeah.
And, the other night I woke up at 3:00 in the morning. And when you do that sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, and it's God or,
Yeah.
they want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe I asked a question where I was able to receive that answer at that time.
Right.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Like, if you can connect to your higher self, I promise you, you will get answers. And I'm here to teach people or guide people how to connect to that level so that life is a lot more seamless. I manifest like crazy. I yesterday morning there was a situation going on, and I needed clarity around it. And I remember just sitting down and I said, please God, I need clarity around this. This is what I want to know. This is what I want to. And I promise you, within an hour or 30 minutes, it was all laid down in front of me. Like, it was literally just there. And I was like, oh, okay. And I still get surprised when it happens, right? Or if I've been thinking about something or trying to work out, decide on a decision, if I'm going to bed and I still haven't resolved it, and I've used most of the tools of my toolbox, because I have a toolbox where I go, right, okay, this is what I'm going to use today, and I still don't get anything, and I go to bed and I say, I normally go, so we still haven't had that answer. If you want to come into my dreams, feel free to. I do. I have all these conversations. But it's funny because my mom is a proper, like, devout Christian, and she's going, don't be talking to God like that. I'm like, we have our own relationship, thank you. But
yeah, he loves you, girl.
yeah. So it's like we're gonna, I do, and I go, listen, if you need to come into my dreams, now he may come into my dreams, but normally by the time I wake up, I know exactly what to do. I know exactly what to do. And if all things fail, I also go with my limiting beliefs, because everybody's got limiting beliefs, right? And if I come to myself and think, oh, I shouldn't do that, I do it. So you see what I mean? It's like, if I go, oh, if I feel that sense of trepidation because I know it's fear, and I know it's me playing small, I just do it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you just got to do it, because it's the only way you're going to get over this limiting belief. There was something in my business, I'm not going to say what it is, but there was something in my business that I was umming and ahhing for weeks. My whole team were on standby going, Vic, what are we doing? Are we putting this out there? We're not putting it. I was like, oh, wait, let's see. And then one day I just went, we're doing it. And do you know what? I haven't thought of it since. And that's how I know it was the right decision, because I'm like, if that means I'm not enough, then that's somebody else's problem, not mine, because I'm facing my limiting beliefs and I'm overcoming it. So whilst I'm out there healing other people, I'm also my client, and I hire myself on a regular basis to check in, because otherwise I wouldn't be authentic. I call myself in to be accountable at all times, and even today, so I have had, and I'm not normally an ill person. I don't get ill. My body is very, very resilient. And since June, I've had a lower back issue where I can't walk far, which is really bizarre, because you're talking to someone who climbed Kilimanjaro, who was climbing poles at Life and Wealth this time last year. So I didn't know what it was. Anyway, and I've been going to different people to get it looked at, and nothing's happening. And then I went, oh my God, Ralph, oh God, that's who I need to speak to. So I booked an appointment, went to see him. And whilst he was working on me, he actually spent the whole hour pretty much speaking in tongues at me about information that I needed to know about all time and space. And he was so I literally went there and had a session and had an educational session because he is one of my teachers. And I was like, this is what I needed the whole time. And the back pain's gone.
It's so funny you say that. Yeah, I'm doing that today.
Yeah, but there is no coincidences. There are no coincidences. That's the beauty. So manifestation, whatever you want to call it, it's about you having a life of fulfillment where when you turn around, you can take the lemons and make lemonade, and then turn it round again and make fizzy pop, and then take it.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, and make ice cream and make slush puppies. You can do whatever you want because you can create whatever you want. I didn't know that Manifestation Mondays existed until about 7 o'clock this morning. And I was like, oh, okay. Manifestation Mondays, because I am listening all the time. I am listening because people come to me to give me messages, you know, and when you're working with people who are highly attuned as well, hanging around with people who are highly attuned really helps, because it's not about them coming to you and go, oh, I need to tell you something, but they may say something that they didn't mean to say, but they've been channeled to say. And then that's
100%.
Yeah, then that sets you on another route in your life to go and do bits of work. It's all about you serving. Everybody is serving. Whether we're getting paid for it or not, we're all serving. And that's where we need to learn and understand that that's where our essence is. We will never, ever, ever thrive in our purpose by being an island. It just won't happen. Because that's not why we're put on this earth. We were all put here to help each other.
It's gorgeous. And I just wanted to ask you a question because I'm really curious on your insight on it. And I know, like, sometimes when people eat really healthy, they glow, or if they're in love, or if they're happy and fulfilled. Can you explain to me what that is? Because it's beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Right. Well, so I'm not a chemist or anything, but what I do know is you when you're cleansing, when you're water, for example, and there's this book called The Many Cries for Water or something like that. Water is so important, and food that has a high hydration element will obviously clean your skin. However, I guess when you're falling in love, in some cases, I guess you're probably smiling a lot, but also you're coming from a place where you're letting a lot of stuff go, and you're just setting into you're connecting more to your feminine as well. Your being, because as women, and a lot of us who are single, you find that you're connecting more to your masculine energy because you know you have to look after yourself. You're looking after yourself, you're hustling and everything else. And you actually have to remind yourself to be. And I think when you're in love, you get put into, especially if you're dating somebody who really respects the feminine, then you have things being done for you. And you enjoy that, and you enjoy just sitting back and being looked after. So that glow and the flow, I guess, comes from it as well.
The feminine flow. Gorgeous.
Yes.
But I'm asking because, like, it almost seems like there's a light. Is that, like, I don't get it. Like,
of me?
Yeah.
Thanks, Jen. So there's a light there.
No, I'm serious. You know what I mean?
I'm serious. Listen. So the way I've done my office, I've done my office in a way that I have, it was really...
I know that light you're talking about, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, Jen, then these are lights. So I've got lights here and lights there, and they actually do vibrate on me. Oh God, yeah. So in listen, my life at the moment is amazing. In answer to your question, I am manifesting a lot. I am, like everybody else, I'm working on holding the balls and not letting anyone slip, but I'm also learning and I'm also leaning in to the possibility of amazing lives. But yeah, I'm attracting quite a lot at the moment, and it's exciting. It is exciting. It's exciting that exactly what I'm asking for is actually coming in all elements of life at the moment, where before, when you look at this wheel of life and you go, oh well, finances are a bit at the bottom and love is maybe in the middle, and I can actually say that there's nothing at zero at the moment. We're all moving up, and all in different degrees, but it comes with a lot of practice. And I believe that if I hadn't have gone through what this hard, is it a hard time, this challenging time, where I literally, lost everything, if that's what you want to call it, I wouldn't have known how to manifest as seamlessly as I am now. But it still takes work. It still takes work. And the ego is always still at play, because the ego wants you to play small all the time. Your ego is the thing that tells you to be scared. Your ego is the thing that tells you to doubt, to worry, to have second thoughts and everything else. And the ego would love you to be on your own and to be miserable and to be in a place of just complete and absolute pain. And every day I ignore the ego, but work on keeping that momentum to keep on things coming into my life and having amazing people coming into my life as well. So yeah, so I'm truly blessed.
It's beautiful. And I just have one more question I wanted to ask you. So when we eat well, we exercise, and we surrender, that's a big part of manifestation. And we let go of that ego to go back to our spirit. How does that, what's your greatest gift that you could give us to aligning within that?
When whatever you're trying to do, there are different ingredients to create your recipe. You have a recipe for your life. It will never be the same as somebody else's. So you need to pick and try and mix. Just like when you're making an omelette, you decide what ingredients you like in your omelette and which ones you don't. And that's okay to mix and match, to take in, put in, whatever. But whatever the situation is, remember that you're not going to be eating that omelette on your own. It's just not about you. It's not always about you. It's about serving others. So you need to be of a high vibration to know exactly that if you put, I don't know, onions, for example, that's an example, but if you put onions into your recipe, you may go, do you know what, that doesn't work for me right now. But there are key recipes. So the gift is, your key recipe are things like, you should have absolute utmost belief in yourself. You should be able to surrender. You need to be able to have trust as well. Trust is where you don't doubt. You don't doubt anything. So there's a lot of people who've been hurt before, or they've said, well, I've tried this and tried that, it didn't work. Forget about that. Do you want it in your life? Is that what you want? Then go for it. Then believe that you can actually have it, right? So you need to overcome that. And then to be able to sort of like have fun. Have fun.
That's the best part.
Yes, we get so serious when we're manifesting. And the fact of the matter is, the reason why we're serious about manifesting is because we're scared. So we're coming from a place of fear, right?
Wow, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, and fear is so powerful that it will paralyze you. Okay, so having fun means that you take away that emotion or those feelings and that vibration that you don't want or need in your life, and you enjoy bringing it in, because it increases your vibration even more.
I love that. And I just, it reminds me of like sometimes when we're in meditation, or like at a Tony event, and we're reminded, smile. This is like,
like you like that. Some people like that. I need to bring that 20 million in this year. If that 20 million and the
like,
more
it should make you happy.
Right? And the 20 million, but the face and the body language says, oh my God, if I don't bring that 20 million in this year, we're screwed. Like, we lost the house, we lost the car, we lost, like, the fear of the impact of not having, rather than thinking, oh my God, what would I do with 20 million? What does that bring me? What does that bring my family? What does that bring my friends? What does that bring? And then you find your body relaxing into it and leaning more into it, rather than the other way around. So fun is really important. And those are like key ingredients. And you can put some more in and take some more out, and you can mix them around and you can put some more of yours in. But the basics of the ingredients, it's like making a cake and knowing that you need to have flour in, or making a cake and you need to, in the standard cake, so away from the gluten-free and everything else, but you have eggs in and butter and everything else. You have your base, and then you can decide whether to put currants in or fruits in or anything else in, right? You have your base of a recipe, and that's what you
foundation.
Yeah, that's your foundation. That's what the foundation of manifestation is.
Okay, I have one more question.
Okay. Go on. I love the fact that we're in this, but go on.
So for entrepreneurs, I feel that sometimes we have our hands in a lot of different pots, and we're just always stimulated by different things that we're passionate about. How can you recommend something we could eat, or any advice to focus?
Okay. Water.
Okay.
Water is so important because it's clear, but I would advise that they drink water that has a pH of more than 7. And yeah, are you looking at your water now?
Yeah, because I put lemon in it, and that helps with pH.
It helps the pH. So it helps you think more. Because I know a lot of people drink coffee. I don't drink coffee, so I'm a bit biased with going, don't drink coffee, but having a clear mind. Also, for business, if you could try and be in business and not wear shoes, even better. Even better.
I hate shoes.
Yes, even better. Connecting to the ground.
Amazing.
Yeah, connecting to the ground is very important, because you will realize that your body wasn't meant to be cased up. When you die, you get cased up, if you get buried. Yeah. Otherwise and stuff, you need to be free. For women, you need to flow. I know it makes us look good when we're in suits, but there's a reason why I wear these, and I actually started wearing them before I knew why I wear them. But literally, my whole essence flows through my dresses. I love
that. Yeah.
They all flow through my dresses. So most of the time, you'll rarely see me wearing most clothes, which is not a very good idea, actually, because these means that it's sort of like, if I'm being naughty food-wise, I never know if I've actually been too naughty or not, because there's no waistband. But my point is that energetically, these really help. I always go barefoot, and I just relax as well. Also, in an office or in the corporate world, make sure that there is somebody who is stimulating your body, massage-wise and whatever and stuff, through your head, your feet and everything else, and just literally making sure that your lymphatic system is
reflexology.
Is moving. Very important.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Victoria. You're amazing.
Thank you so much for coming and interviewing me for my podcast, and I will speak to you soon on your podcast as ever, because I
can't wait.
You're amazing at this, and and you're going to be asking more questions, I know.
Oh yeah.
So thanks, and I appreciate it, and hopefully one day you can come on here so we can interview you.
Beautiful. I'd love that. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Speak to you soon.
Ciao.
Bye. Bye, everybody.